there's a front that everybody puts on, and the front is that we're doing incredible in our relationships. Well, it's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. And here's why. A huge part of the quality of people's lives and the progress they make is definitely connected to their relationships. I want to start off with this topic that relationships are incredibly hard. Here's a problem. The problem is that everyone you run into, whether those are family, friends, or some business person, there's a front that everybody puts on, and the front is that we're doing incredible in our relationships, whether that's a relationship with husband and wife, that's a relationship with their kids, or that's a relationship with their business partners. Everything looks great and amazing, even if there are little flaws that you notice. Oh, those are just a normal part of it, and it's not that bad. Well, it's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. And here's why. Well, and I will tell you where I'm speaking from. I'm not speaking from theory. I've spent the past decades trying to support people to improve their relationships, their quality of their life, their progress in business, their progress internally in terms of their awareness, in terms of what they can achieve towards their potential. And you wouldn't be surprised that a huge part of the quality of people's lives and the progress they make is definitely connected to their relationships. And here's what you find out, that people are struggling. Most people struggle. And by the way, my hand is up too. It's incredibly difficult to work through your relationships. And the most difficult areas of my life are relationship areas. It's not my business. It's not the work that I do. Actually, that's the easiest part, because that actually gives me some space to focus and do things. Relationships can be very complex, whether it's with my wife, with my kids, with my siblings, with my family, friends, community, all of it. They can bring up all sorts of emotions, positive, negative. There are times where I'm excited and happy around people. There are times where I don't want to deal with people. There are times where I'm optimistic and I want to work with people. I want to build a team. There are times where I just want to be in my own space. And and this shows you that we're complex to begin with. Now add to it other complex beings around you, makes it incredibly difficult. But we live in a world, that it kind of, one analogy that one of my favorite philosophers, Manly Palmer Hall, pointed out, that when you look at a house, and imagine a house that was beautifully painted and looks impeccable on the outside, and then you open the door and you look inside and everything is broken and the foundations are crumbling. That's the nature of how families are in North America a lot of times. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people are struggling, and that's okay, because relationships are difficult by nature. And it's interesting because when you look at the school system, when you look at the training we've had since childhood in our families, in our school system, this is one area we never get any training around. We basically watch our parents and family be a certain way, and we kind of mimic and model that, and we bring it in our own life. So we bring a mix of positive and negative whenever you go into therapy or counseling or coaching. When you ask people, why do you behave like this? Well, that's just what I know, because that's what they were taught by their parents, by the families around them, by the people around them. Even their own thought process, how they feel about life, how they think about life is very much influenced by that. So then where do we stay? Well, the first step is to become real about the whole process. And that's why I want to say a relationship is difficult, but there are ways to improve it. There are ways to make it simpler. There are ways to get on the same page. There are ways to communicate better. There are ways to improve the where you are in your life, and everybody's going to be very different. For example, no matter what I do, I know that there's a piece of between my wife and I, we have a lot of trauma. There are a lot of disconnection points. And yes, we've improved a lot, grown a lot, but there are times where we struggle with each other, and we have to work very hard, probably more so than most people who don't have that level of trauma. But most people don't have that extreme of challenges, and they can work through it very simply. And I've been able to get people to reconnect in their marriages. I've been able to get people to reconnect with their families, with their friends, been able to get team members on the same page. Why? Because there are actually usually very few things that people haven't worked through. And I'll leave you with two things. One is people don't understand and notice other people's emotions around them, whether those emotions are sadness, anger, frustration, all the negative spectrum, negative or survival type of emotions, which I consider the emotions that gets you to pay attention because something is off, something needs to be improved, something needs to be paid attention to. We don't know how to handle those because it was never modeled properly to us. And for those of us that have gone better models around this, great, you're actually very privileged. So we don't understand how to interpret and respond to emotions. Plus, in the world that we live in, with everybody being distracted with their phone and devices and everything, we don't even notice people's faces, which is how you notice people's emotions. And so it creates more problems. And then behind emotions, emotions are signals to our needs. It tells us what we need in our life. So if we're frustrated with something, there's a need behind that. Maybe we're frustrated because we're not able to express ourselves. Maybe there's a need for expression. Maybe we're frustrated because we don't feel free. There's a need for freedom. Maybe we're angry because somebody crossed our boundary. There's a need to have a boundary in place. Maybe we're disconnected because we don't feel like anybody understands us around us. So there are needs behind it. So when you understand the concept of emotions and needs, you start to understand, first of all, what are your own needs? What are the emotions behind, and what are the needs behind those emotions? What are the emotions signaling? And then what does that mean for the people around me? My life partner, my business partners, my siblings, my kids, all the people that are around us, what do they need from us? And a lot of times it's very complex to figure this out. And if you want to take this training further, download your free Unlock Your Legacy Life Power Pack at faisalensaun.com. You should be able to find the link right below. Take care. Bye.